Hi and welcome back. Today we're testing the Titania song deck again. This time it's going to be versus the Erhnamageddon. Again, there are some proxies in here because there are cards in my other decks that I'd have to break down in order to build this deck. This is a picture of what the deck will look like if I decide to break down and actually make this deck. Alright, with that said, here's game number one. Okay, start out with the Meister's Factory, and he'll strip my Meister's Factory. Drop down another Meister's Factory, and he'll play a Plains this time. There's a Forest, and then I'll swing in for two. There's another strip mine on the Meister's Factory. And there's a Plains. And a Forest on his side. Looks like we're both both passing turn. And that's the Sunglasses of Urza. What that is you pay 1 to cast it, and then you tap it, and you can look at a player's hand. I really liked that card when I was younger, and I played with it. I actually bought an alpha and a beta version of it, as well as an unlimited version. But I put one in this deck just to have it in here, because it's a fun card to have. He disenchanted that, and he put down a land tax, and then I disenchanted land tax. There's a City of Brass on his side. Then I'm having to discard. Looks like I'm having trouble finding lands after he stripped mine both of my factories. Alright, I'm discarding. So it looks like a book. And he's dropping an Erhnamageddon. Alright, I'm discarding another book. It looks like he's tacking it with the Erhnam and then putting 2 giant growths on it. So that is 10 damage he just hit me for. Looks like I'm using a disenchant on his Meister's Factory. I guess he decided to swing in with the factory as well. So. I'm sorry for the glare. I didn't realize the light was on, the fan was going until midway through this. Alright, there's an Erhnam. He attacks with the Erhnam again, dealing me 4 more damage. I'm down to 6 life. I believe I had a Wrath of God in my hand, but I just didn't have enough mana to cast it. And I was waiting on a Plains. Okay, it looks like, yeah, it's a Lana War Elves there. So I'll block the Lana War with my Meister's Factory, and then I'll still take 4 from the Erhnam. And look at that, I drew a Plains just in time. Wrath of God, that'll take care of his Sarah and his Erhnam. And the basic operating for this deck is 4 lands. As long as you got 4 lands, at least 1 forest, you should be alright. With the amount of control that's in this deck. And there is a Icy Manipulator on his side. Ice Manipulator on my side. And he's disenchanting my Ice Manipulator. And then he's dropping a Fellwar Stone. And then I'm disenchanting his Icy Manipulator. There's a lot of back and forth with these decks, both having the white control in there. There's another Plains. And there's another Icy on my side. Then he'll drop a Sarah. There's another Wrath of God, taking care of the Sarah. And there's a Disrupting Scepter on my side. The Maze of Ith. And I believe there's another Disrupting Scepter there. So there's 2 Disrupting Scepters down. And there's an Erhnamageddon on his side. And that's a Swords. So I'll remove his Erhnam from the game. He'll gain 4 life. Then I'll make him discard a card. I believe he forgot to gain the life. And that's a book, a Jadon Tome. Dust to Dust to destroy his Fellwar Stone. I'll make him discard a card. There's a Rod of Ruin, and then I'm making him discard another card. And there's an Icy Manipulator on his side. I think I was going to tap his Icy, but I changed my mind, but he decides to tap my Icy. I'm not sure why that forest is tapped. Okay, yeah, so I tapped the Plains to tap his Maze of Ith in response. And now I'm playing the Titania's Song, which turns all my artifacts into creatures. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 damage coming at him, and he's at 13. So as I swing, he is dead. But I don't think it would have mattered very much, but he was supposed to gain that 4 life, so I would have killed him in the second turn with attacking. I just went swung with everything that time. So, on to game 2. He starts out with a forest and a lot of war elves. And there is a Sylvan Library. And he'll attack for 1. There's a disenchant on the Sylvan Library. I don't know what he was doing. He made a mistake. So he's playing a balance, or he's attempting to play a balance. And I explained it to him, I'm just going to lose one land, and he'll lose a creature. No, I'm sorry, I'll lose like 2 cards in my hand, but he's going to lose a creature and a land, so that doesn't make any sense. So I told him, you might as well save that for later. And there's a Felwerstone. Alright, there we go. I turned the light off, and I turned the fan off. So that'll get rid of that glare there. And there's a Sarah on his side. Takes 1 damage from the City of Brass. I can't find a 3rd or 4th land, so I have to pass turn. And there's an Icy Manipulator on his side, and he swings in for 5. There's a Disenchant on the Manipulator. He'll play a Soul Ring, and then he swings in for 5 again. So, all right, there's a nice Manipulator on my side. There's a Lotus on his side, and he swings in for 5 more, so bringing me to 3 life. So I got to find something real quick, or I'm going to die. So Disenchant on the Black Lotus. Then I'll use the Icy Manipulator to tap his Sarah during his upkeep. Now he's disenchanting my Icy Manipulator. He attacks for 1, brings me... Oh, actually, I'm sorry. I have my Meister's Factory, so I'll block his Lenoir with that. I'm not sure why he attacked there. And then I found a Wrath of God. So I was very lucky. I think I drew that Wrath of God there. He's asking about his factory. I said he can't attack the turn it comes into play. The Divine Offering on his Soul Ring. Yeah, so that's the second game that I just happened to top deck just what I needed in time. Okay, he's regrowthing. And he's getting back a Sarah. Okay, what am I playing here? There's a Mirror Universe. So Mirror Universe costs 6, and then during your upkeep you can tap it and switch life totals with your opponent. So he's casting the Sarah Angel. I'm not sure why he did this, but he used the City of Brass. Took 1 damage from that. And then he's attacking me with his Meister's Factory, which doesn't make any sense because now I'm going to switch life totals. And my life becomes his life now. So I am now at 18 and he's at 2. So now that his Meister's Factory is tapped, he can only block 1 with the Sarah. And then I come in with the other one, and then I win that game. Alright, so that was a good game 2. On to game 3. So he drops planes. And I got another planes and a Felwerstone. He's got a Pendlehaven. And there's a book. There's an Erhnam on his side. Meister's Factory. And then I'll use that to tap for the book, draw a card. And he swings in for 4. And there's another Erhnam on his side as well now. And then I'm using the book to draw another card. Sarah on his side. And he swings in for 8. So I'm now at 8 life now. Okay, that's a Maze of Ith. That swamp I just dropped there. Alright, there's a Wrath of God destroying all the creatures. Then I'll attack for 2. The Sarah Angel on his side. I'm just showing that that is the Maze of Ith there. But there's a swords, so I'll quickly get rid of the Sarah. Now I'll swing in for 2 with the factory. And then I'll use 4 to draw a book. Draw from the book, sorry. Oh, and he's dropping a land tax and an Armageddon at the same time. So now he can activate his land tax. He draws a forest. Well, at least this way I have access to another land now. I can disenchant the land tax. So my Felwar Stone kicked in once he dropped that forest. And then I dropped a Disrupting Scepter. He plays a bird. There's a forest. Oh, he's going to swing in with the bird with a giant growth on it. So I'll take 3. There's another Disrupting Scepter. I believe I have a Titania Song in my hand. I'm literally about to drop it next turn because I got 10 damage on the board. 2 turns he'd be dead. But there goes an Armageddon. Destroys all lands again. I remember him saying, yeah, I think you got something that you're going to play next turn. Now he's got the Meister's Factory. He forgot he didn't destroy his bird with the Armageddon stuff. So he's going to tap for Lunamore Elves, and he's going to swing in with the factory for 2. And that's pretty much game, because next turn I get hit with 3. I was showing him I had 2 Titania Songs in my hand, so I would have won, but oh well. Thanks for watching. Subscribe.